the Bonnie and Babs kitchen. So it's good to see you. Hello there, Alison. Hello, Brian. Hello, Rachel. And Tiffy's, you are our famous viewer. Hello, everybody. So we had I've just turned the heating off because somehow the boiler, I've been using the hot water as well, so the boiler's going. And there's Kaylee. Hello, Kaylee. Oh, there's Bonnie wanting out, so we'll close that over. We literally just got an Amazon delivery 2 minutes ago. So what we want to do today to start off is we'll play our updated theme tune. So we'll see if anyone else is able to pick out what's different about this tune. So let's play it. And there is actually a wee video on this. So hello, Mark. Just in time for the theme tune. It's been updated.
Bonnie and Babs are cooking in the kitchen. Happy to be switching up some eggs for you. Bonnie and Babs are making finger-licking chicken and the sauce to thicken with some real good fun. Oh yeah.
Great. So I don't know if anyone can tell what's slightly different to the one yesterday. My friend David Sutherland, he has been working on my media productions. So today on the menu we talked yesterday about using the other chicken breast. So we're going to use the chicken breast in two ways. We're going to have chunky chicken and leek and potato soup, all done in about 20 minutes. Plus we're going to have a harissa chicken harissa chicken wrap to go with that. So Tiffy's is saying, I'm fairly sure the percussion was an E flat this time. Maybe. Bonnie's different. Alison, you have got it in one. So we've added a wolf howl. Oh! After the oh yeah, so ow, and then we've got a different bark, so we've kind of refigured that, so it's really good. Yep, Alison's here and she watched yesterday's episode. And there's Polly. Hello, Polly. So hello, Kimberly, Sophia, welcome everybody, so pleased to have you on. So chunky chicken, leek and potato soup and our harissa wrap. So what we need to do immediately is get our pan on, because this is, and it's just a shame the way the camera is, that ideally I would be cooking on the back ring, but I'm going to do this. I focused on the important bit, absolutely. Bonnie, 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 and as you can see, can you see her today? There she is. She's better. She was a wee bit poorly this morning, but she is actually better. So in our pan, we want to just put a wee bit of oil at the bottom, and we're going to add some butter. The reason that we add a bit of oil in the butter is so that the butter doesn't burn. And I'm just going to put in a chunk of butter. It is probably about 2 tablespoons. And what we're going to do first is saute off the leeks. Hello, Joe. Hope you're being a good nurse to your husband. And I'll just straighten you up. So I have pre-cooked the leeks. Not pre-cooked, pre-chopped. And I thought I would show you how to chop a leek. We talked about learning how to cook as well. So what I would do here is just, I'll move it back, chop off the end. And then just take the end ever so slightly. When you're doing leek and potato soup, you want to use it all. Brian's saying no complaints about his wife. Good show. And then what I want to do here is you want to cut down into the middle. And you're just going to cut right down, not all the way through. And then what I would then do, you can see there that you've got mud. So I'm just going to run that under the tap, and as you're running it under the tap, you're just opening up the leeks and washing out the mud. So you can talk amongst yourselves for a minute. So, okay, and now what you want to do is get your knife where you've half chopped it through, and then you're going to do right down the middle. So you've now got two halves. Hello, Karen. And then put your leek down, flat side under on the bottom, and then it makes it easier to cut and it doesn't move around. So we're just halving that. So then we've got our 4/4, and then we're just going to chop that. When you're making soup, you have to think about your soup spoon and the size of piece that you want on your spoon. You could either have a really chunky one, if you're having a leek and potato like we are. You could have a whole potato on your thing. I can't cook, Barbara. I'm so bad. I'll learn some tips from you. Absolutely, Kaylee. So as you can see, we've then got our leek, and I'm just going to throw that in. So that leek is going into our oil and butter, and we're just going to saute this off like so. And I'm just going to rinse this in the warm water to bring it up to temperature so that it cooks quicker. So I'm just bringing that up to temperature so that it's not always going to have to then heat up. We just want to cook. So that's our leeks. So in this recipe I've used 3 kind of small leeks. So that's them all going in. And then we're just going to saute that off. And saute means that you're just, I suppose, cooking it gently. Mark might be, if he's still on, he might be able to tell us some of the technical terms. So you're just letting it cook, sweating it down, and it'll start to change consistency. So it'll start to become see-through. So while we're doing that with the leeks, I might actually add a wee bit more oil. If you were doing a vegan recipe, you could just do, you could just put in the oil. You wouldn't necessarily put in the butter. So I'll show you how to adapt this recipe to be a vegan and a vegetarian and a meat option. So thank you. Hello, Mark. This is crazy. Hello, Beth. And also, yeah, my wee dog. Yeah, she's feeling better today. So we're just going to cook that off. I'm going to put the lid on. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to boil the kettle as well. So the next thing we've got here is our carrots. So you can see I've got my carrots chopped. 4 large carrots. And I will show you how to chop a carrot as well. So easy way, half it. And then carefully half it again like that, and then put the flat edge down onto the chopping board so that it doesn't move, and then just chop it into the size of chunk that you want for the soup. I'm doing it fairly small this time because I'm going to be, I want it to be cooked in by 6 o'clock. So we're already pushing the boat out because it's a big pot. But you'll get the gist of it. So that's my carrot, and you can see the leeks are starting to saute. And I'm going to do exactly the same with the carrots because I've been having them in cold water. I'm just going to run them under the hot tap to bring them up to temperature. So that's the good. So I'm just bringing this up to temperature, nice hot water, and I've already just boiled the kettle. That's for my stock. Okay, so we've got our carrots. I'm going to let the leeks cook again for another short time, and I've done the same with the potatoes. So these are new potatoes, and we've got the small bits here. So we've got Joan, hello Joan, and then we've got Furlough's not so bad. Every day's a school day. Yep, that's Trevor. So we've got 750 grams of potatoes. So again, cut it in half, flat edge onto the mat, and then just cut it like so. So this is where our maths lesson comes in, the mean cell, the mean cell volume, making it smaller. So the bigger it is, the longer it'll take to cook. So we've chopped them down into kind of small bite size. So if you think about your soup spoon, you're going to have, look, that's perfect. While I've got some of my other friends, something that used to really upset me is that we've got the difference between a soup spoon and a dessert spoon. And this is, some people don't bother, but a soup spoon is the rounded one and the dessert spoon is the oval one. A lot of people don't know that. So we've got, that's just a wee tip for you. So there you can see steam coming there. Perfect. We want to just keep this moving around, and then the whites of the leeks become clear and the green ones become more vibrant. You can actually see that in the pan. Great. So what I'm going to do now is add my carrots. And just let that cook for a minute. And while that's cooking, I'm going to put the potatoes under the hot water again to bring it up to temperature. Good. So I think, where's Bonnie? She's not there. Bonnie! There's Bonnie to entertain you while I'm doing this. Hello, Bonnie! Oh, you're actually wagging your tail. Good girl. Okay, so we have our... there's a lie. I don't even know if you got to see her. Did you see her? You can see a tiny bit of the fluff. Right, so we have our carrots, our leeks, which are cooking off in the butter and the oil. And what I'm going to do now is add the potatoes, which are chopped, like so. And I'm not going to add any water at the moment. I'm just going to let that come up to temperature. And what I'm actually going to do is move it onto the back ring in a minute while I'm getting some of the other bits ready. Right, great. Fling that across here. So, the other ingredients for our leek and potato soup are 2 cloves of garlic, and if you remember last week I showed you how to crush the garlic easily. Put a bit of salt there, which means it won't slip. Use the heel of your knife with the ball of your hand, push it down like that, and then that helps it not slip. But we're also going to be adding a bit of flavour, like so. That's your garlic roughly chopped. Oh, and I can start to hear that boil, so I'm just going to put that garlic in. And then what I'm going to do is add some fresh thyme. One of the recipes I looked at said that you could have mixed herbs, but I'm actually can't stand mixed herbs. She's flinging it in. Yeah, I can't stand mixed herbs, particularly oregano, mate. I just can't stand it. So we've got some fresh thyme, and I'm going to fling, for you Tiffies, fling in a bit of chopped parsley. And fling in a bit of celery salt. Just a couple of shakes like that. And then I'm going to move this onto the back ring in a minute. And then I can start to do the other ones. Great. That's smelling great. I'm not going to add much salt at the moment. The reason being is we're using stock cubes and they can be quite salty. So your black pepper, again remember the tip, shaking it into the lid, because if you do it over a steamy thing, it all just gets gunked up and you don't know how much, what's it called, pepper. I'm a bit tired today. The reason being, I got some Diet Coke yesterday and it makes me wide awake. So I stupidly drank 2 cans. I had 1 can earlier on and then I had a can about 8 o'clock, which was far too late. So unfortunately my sleep was deprived. Right, so you can see that's now cooking off. Brilliant. Starting to cook down. Oops, that's a bit flinging out of the pan there. Remind us what you're making again. So we're making chunky leek and potato and chicken soup, and also some harissa and vegetable wraps for our accompaniment. So what I now do is I'm going to add some stock. So I've got 3 OXO cubes and boil up the kettle again. Normally with the OXO cubes, what I just generally do is just break it in. You could use any stock. If you were doing it vegan and vegetarian, you would use vegetable stock, but as I'm adding chicken, it's a chicken stock. So we're just going to fling that in as well. So that's your 3 chicken stock cubes. OXO or any. It's actually really difficult to get stock cubes at the moment. Particularly ham. Everybody must be making lentil soup at home, which is not good because I want to make lentil soup and I can't get any ham stock cubes. Also, what I'm going to do, into my jar, I've got 2 chicken stock pots. And I'm going to put that in, about 500 mils, and dissolve that down. And while I'm doing that, I'm just going to add some water over here. Okay. And then give that a stir. That's smelling delicious already. And I must say, that recipe that I made yesterday, the chicken escallop, was absolutely delicious. So I'm going to move that onto the back ring just now because it's hotter. Bring it up to boil. And then this is the chicken stock here. So Mark's saying, what a well-organised girl. Yes, be prepared. We are our Blue Peter badge winner. Here's some I prepared earlier. So what I do before the show is think out what I'm going to do, what steps take ages, what I can do to show you, and then I'm just going to add this stock in here. So that's great. And now what I'm going to do is basically just bring that up to the boil. So this might not quite be ready for the end of the show because I want to limit it, not too long. But we'll see how we get on. We'll see how many viewers are holding in. So we've got this one, I'll turn off. So I've got the back one up at 9, up at the top, and I want to now bring that up to the boil and that, then simmer it down. So we're not going to add the chicken just yet. What I'm going to do here is prepare my chicken wrap, because this doesn't actually take too long at all. So our peppers, I've got half a red pepper, half a green pepper, and I've just cleaned out the middle. And remember also last week we were talking about the little pips. Really important to get them away because they do give you an upset stomach. They're so small that they can fit into the common bile duct and they can actually give you extreme pain, which we don't want. So the peppers here, I'm just putting onto kind of strips like so. Great, And then I've got half a courgette, so half it down the middle, lie it flat, and then I'm just going to put them into kind of wee batons like this. If you didn't want it, you could actually cut that seeded bit out, but I'm not going to bother. So we've got our courgette, and then I'm going to do a red onion rather than a white onion, because I think red onion is tastier in a wrap. So let's just take the outer skin off, and I'm going to put this into like half semicircles, sliced rather than diced. That's a new catchphrase as well, sliced rather than diced. Woohoo! So 16 viewers, well done everyone. So you've held in. And also we've uploaded yesterday's channel yesterday's show onto the YouTube, and we got one really nice comment from a complete stranger. So it said really good content and it was really entertaining. So that's why we're here, to entertain you all while you're in lockdown. And that's Deborah joined. Hello Debs. You've made it up to number 17. Let's see if we can get 20 viewers. Text your friends, tell them to tune in. Right, so we're just going to slice this like so. Sometimes that wee outer bit can be tricky. And I am going to do the whole onion, because tomorrow what I'm going to have is, today I'm going to eat roast the vegetables with the chicken, and then tomorrow I thought I could just add some mushrooms and maybe some mange too, and microwave that, and then I can have vegetable wraps for my lunch. Definitely entertaining. Yep, absolutely. We like the jokes here at the Bonnie and Babs kitchen. We're not killing anything today. So in our frying pan, on to a hot thing, and because it's a wrap and it's slightly different, I'm going to use some coconut oil for this. Hello Andrew, there's Chev on. Chev's in the house. So so I'm going to just, don't do that at home with a knife in this. So I'm just going to add a wee chunk of the, what's it called, coconut oil. That's maybe about 15 grams. And our soup is coming to the boil. So this is where you need to be careful and use a tea towel on the top here. So that's coming to the boil, and that's absolutely perfect. So that's cooking its way down. So I'm going to just keep that up in the boil and bring it up to a rapid boil, and before I reduce it. So we've got our coconut oil here coming up to temperature, and I'm going to then add the vegetables to this to cook off. Coconut oil tends to melt quicker, so the pan isn't quite hot yet. And the way you can test that is pop a wee bit of your onion in, and if it starts to sizzle, so you can see that's deceiving, it's not actually up to temperature. And then once it starts to sizzle around the outside, you can do it. Love that you laugh at your own jokes. Well, you've got to when you live alone and you're an only child. It's important to be able to laugh at your own jokes. Hello there, Natalie Patterson. Nice to have you on the show. So we have got our vegetables here, almost ready to go in. And I'm going to get out our chicken. So this was our chicken breast, which we had yesterday. So I'm just going to rinse that under the tap. Like so. And what I'm going to do, there's my vegetables starting to come sizzle. So I'm just going to add them all into the pan. Right, so that's our soup coming up to a rapid boil. So I'm just going to let that rapid boil for about 5 minutes before I turn it down to a simmer. This is smelling absolutely delicious. I'm just laughing because I always say absolutely delicious. So we have you know, these are really big chicken breasts from McCaskey's, and they deliver, so we'll give them a wee plug. So what are we saying here? Need to start writing them in a notebook. Okay, so we have got the chickens. I've just taken that little fillet off there, and you can see that nice big bit of chicken. So I'm going to cut that again. You've got to be quite careful because chicken's quite slimy. You can slice your hand. So I'm going to use those two maybe in my stir fry. And then this big bit of chicken I'm going to put into the chicken stock, into the soup. So what I want to do is chop it into little chunks. If you were using chicken thighs or something, you'd want to start and put them in shortly after the shallot, the leeks, before you put in the carrots and the potatoes, because they would take about 50 minutes. But the chicken breast actually only takes about 10 minutes to cook. And I'm going to add that in. So what are we saying? I thought the frying was coming out again to batter the chicken. No, not this time. Maybe that was yesterday's joke. So the soup is coming on, a treat. Keep that going. So we'll keep our vegetables moving in the pan. Oh, I need to get like a little splash guard because I keep doing that. So that's our pepper, our courgette and our red onion. I'm not going to add any other herbs and spices to this or any more garlic. Just as well we've got no meetings at the moment. I've been going crazy on the garlic. So cooking that off, you don't want to overcook your veg. So let's go over to our soup. And for Tiffy's, we're going to fling in the chicken. Woohoo! That's the chicken on. Keep the veggies coming. Give them a stir. So we now have a couple of fillets of chicken here. So what I'm going to do is, with the harissa paste, I'm going to get the chicken, and it's about, I'll use this because it is actually, if you use too much of this you might regret it. I'm going to use about 1 teaspoon, or one heaped teaspoon, and I'm just going to plonk a bit on the outside of the chicken breast. This can be really spicy, so if you've not used it before, I would go gently until you know what you like. So again, these are coming on, keep them moving. I'll need to get a new hob so that I can actually do the cooking recipes. This front thing isn't great, but I think this is quite good to show you how that you can cook well in a small kitchen with not all the utensils. That's why you had to get your chicken beaten with a frying pan. Right, so the vegetables are coming on well. So with the back of the spoon, what I'm going to do is just gently smother that on here, like so. I'm just going to rub that in. Waste not, want not. So the soup's going crazy, so I'm just going to turn that down a wee bit. And now with this, what I'm going to do is actually, I would probably do it into longer strips, but I think that might be a bit more dangerous, so I'm going to change knives. And I absolutely love this knife. This is a tomato knife, and it's just really good, so it kind of grips. It's got a slightly serrated edge, so you can see there, that just cuts through the chicken beautifully. So I'm just going to cut that into chunks. So we've got some more finger-licking chicken. So you could have actually chopped that into chunks and put it in a bowl and then mixed in the paste, which I'm thinking in retrospect might have been a better tip. So mix that around. Great. So what are we doing for time? 6 o'clock, not bad. We'll soon be getting tucked into our chicken harissa wrap, and the soup might be another 5 or 10 minutes. So what we're going to do is fling the chicken in, and I'm going to move this over to the side. I might actually scrape a bit of that sauce. Rinse this while we're doing it. Give that a wee rinse. Okay. And then just move that around. The chicken doesn't actually take long. And the reason I've done the veg first is because the chicken doesn't take long, and you don't want to really overcook the chicken. Particularly when it's good quality chicken, there's not going to be a lot of water coming out of it. But if you buy really cheap chicken, they do inject the chicken breasts with a lot of water, which is a total con, because then you're paying for the water, not the chicken. They do that with roast chickens as well. Great, so that's coming along a treat. Need to get another wooden spoon now to stir my thing here, the soup. And this is more like a broth. A lot of traditional leek and potato soups use a cream-based sauce. Also, if you overcook the potatoes, it becomes really starchy and it's not very nice. Hello Ian and Kat, you've joined. Nice to see you on the Bonnie and Bab's kitchen. So we are doing our chicken wrap here. And Ian, if you hold in to the end, you'll hear your theme tune. Ian very kindly helped me. So that's coming along well, and you can see that's cooking. That won't take too long now. You just want to make sure that the chicken's cooked all the way through. And now what I'm going to do is get some chopped flat leaf parsley, and with this you don't want to use the big stalk. So what I'm doing is just taking it and then pulling the leaves off like this. Okay, and then putting that in the wee bowl. And I quite like this quite chunky. So the way I do it is roll it up into a little ball like this, and then hold it tightly and then shred it that way. And you can actually see there you've got a really fine thing. Hello Caitlin! You've made the 20th viewer. Well done. So there's our flat leaf parsley, which is going to go on top of our soup for serving. Great. So almost there, guys. So with the soup, what I'm going to do is move the camera slightly. There. And then I can just go, oh, hello. So we'll have the 2 pans here. You can see that's coming along really nicely. Nice big chunky chicken soup. And you can see, look, there's our chicken and it's already cooked through. It changes colour and texture. So keep this going. Oops. That's hot, so make sure you're using one of them. And as you can see, I'm interchanging the wooden spoons. That's just a bad habit because I'm mainly cooking for myself. Obviously, if you were doing this professionally, you would be very careful for cross-contamination and for allergens. So just chowking into that chicken. And then what we did yesterday, which worked well, was cut into the chicken. I'm going to do that over here, which you can still see. And then actually that's nice and white all the way through, there's no pink bits. So I am happy with that. And it's just breaking away, that's when it's good quality chicken. Like just breaking away there. So that's it, nearly ready. That's our harissa chicken. I'm going to keep that going for a minute. Back onto the other spoon. And our potatoes here. So what I'm going to do is, the potatoes will probably be the longest cooking. I'm going to take out a potato and a couple of carrots. And then, oh look, that's fork mashable. And again, your potatoes, fork mashable. So that's actually almost ready. So while we're doing that, we'll keep the soup going until we're ready to plate up our wraps. So we've got a packet of tortilla wraps, which I'm going to use. I'm just going to do one initially for the show, but I'll probably wow a good number of these when the show's over. So one wrap like this, and I'm going to put it in the microwave for 10 seconds. That's just cooking, 10 seconds. Right, I've actually changed my mind. I'm going to do 2 because I'm thinking of my photography. So another couple of seconds there for the wraps. So you've got to always think about the end result. We're just going to move that over here. You've got your 2 wraps. That looks almost perfect. Practically perfect. Like so. And I'm actually just going to turn that off, and I'm going to keep the back one going at the moment. So we have our plates. So I'm going to put 2 like this, and I'm going to get another spoon. And I'm just literally going to spoon some of the mixture into the middle, getting some of the chicken. Evenly spread, as you can see. Stick that in. The hob was clean to begin with. Right, so actually there's enough for another wrap, so I'm going to have that later on. So I'm going to take that off. And then you can see that we've got our wraps here, like so. So I'm going to serve that like that and have the bowl here. And I'm also going to add a dollop of the natural yogurt. So the soup's nearly finished. We've done well. We've held in. Sizzling in the pan. Yes, cooking is about is about every sense about your sight, your sound. If you're bringing the sizzling to your table, the smell, the look. So all of the different things here. So I'm going to put a kind of drizzle of that on here. And then a couple of blobs here. Like so. And if we're thinking about presentation, I'm going to add a very slight bit of the paprika, like this, just for a bit of aesthetic appreciation. So that's our chicken. I think Mark's saying, are you going to eat some and tell us what it tastes like? Well, what I'll do is I'll take a bit of the chicken out of the pan. And I'm wondering if anyone knows what I'm going to say. Absolutely delicious. So nearly there. So we're going to have our soup and our ladle. I need to move for tomorrow's show some of the utensils around. And we'll bring that in. So look at that beauty. So we have our very quick chunky chicken. We're at 10 past, not bad. We're almost done. So a chunky chicken, leek and potato soup. So a nice generous amount of this soup for there. So that'll keep me going for a few days. And then what I'm going to do here is have that like that. And I'm going to add the chopped parsley like this. You could add a bit of the yogurt or a dollop of cream on the top. I'm going to push that back. And then, if you remember the half lime that we had left over from yesterday, I'm just going to very gently squeeze a wee bit of the lime over onto the chicken. So there you have, in 41 minutes, we have a lovely plate of homemade chunky chicken, leek and potato soup, and 2 harissa wraps. So not bad, not bad. So I'm really looking forward to taking that. So I'll see some of your comments before we say goodbye. There's enough there for 20 portions. Look how many viewers you've got. No, well, I've only got 18 now, so that was maybe my portion. So what I'm going to do with this is make it up, and I'm going to freeze it, and then I can give it out to various people over the next wee while. So Tiffy's is saying, woohoo, looks great. Polly, well done. Kat, looks yummy. Lots of hand claps from Ian and Rachel. So yesterday's recipe is not typed up yet, and today's recipe, I promise they'll get done. And we have Brian and Fiona saying well done. Lovely to have you, Fiona. Say hello to all the family and the dogs. Hello, woof woof from Bonnie. So I'm so pleased with this. So we'll finalise the show with our theme tune. Totally smashed it. Yep, Caitlin, thank you. Are we ready? 5, 6, 7, 8.
Bonnie and Babs are cooking in the kitchen, happy to be switching up some eggs for you. Bonnie and Babs are making finger-licking chicken and a sauce to thicken with some real good fun. Oh
yeah! Yay! So that's our show for today. So you should start a competition each week. We could accept postal orders as a prize. Okay, Mark, I will put that in your capable hands. I know you're busy enough. Loving the tune. Yep, Trev, you can listen to it at your heart's delight over on the different channels. Like us, share us, comment about us, but only if it's good, on YouTube, Instagram, and also over on our Facebook page, and we're in the process of getting our group up and running. So tomorrow's show at the same time, we're going to use the flat tortillas and make some quick and easy pizzas. So hopefully it'll be a bit quicker, but we'll be a good Blue Peter badge winner, and we'll be prepared again for the show. And then on Friday, we're going to do a chili, and then we're going to deliver it over to Clear My Clutter. She's also going to share it on her page, and she's got over 10,000 followers. So a wee bit of competitive marketing here. We're going to bless Paul and Susie. Kat saying the pizza can't wait. What I'll do is I'll make it a vegetarian one and a meat one. So you've got the two options, and then you can also, if you were wrapping, whatever wrap, you could make it gluten-free or whatever just to help you. So that's that. So I'm away for another can of Diet Coke and eat my soup and my thing. So yippee, Barbara goes viral. So come on, let's see what we can do here. We'll give Joe Wicks a bit of run for his money. He was over at 2 million or something subscribers on his YouTube channel. I think I've got 6, so I've got a long way to go. So from the Bonnie and Babs kitchen, Bonnie, no, oh, there she comes. So from the Bonnie and Babs kitchen, we say goodbye. See you later.